In the small town of Maplewood, Alex was just an ordinary teenager, balancing school, friends, and family. Each evening, right after dinner, the family would gather in their cozy living room. The soft glow of the television lit up their faces as they settled in to watch the local news. It was a routine that felt comforting and familiar. Alex found himself particularly drawn to the stories of everyday life, celebrations in the community, local sports highlights, and occasional interviews with quirky neighbors. He loved discussing these segments with his parents, sharing laughs over amusing anecdotes and gaining insight into what made their town unique. Despite the usual charm of the broadcasts, there was an undercurrent of unease around some stories. Recently, there had been murmurs of strange incidents happening just a few blocks away, but nothing too alarming. As Alex flipped through channels one evening while waiting for the news to begin, he felt a strange shiver run down his spine. Little did he know that this seemingly normal night would soon plunge him into a chilling mystery that would change everything he thought he understood about his life and himself. One evening, as the family settled into their familiar routine, the news anchor's voice suddenly turned grave. Alex leaned forward, curiosity piqued, as the screen displayed flashing lights and police cars surrounding a nearby house. The anchor reported a shocking crime, a burglary that had turned violent. A wave of disbelief washed over Alex. This was not just a story from another part of town but something that had happened in their own neighborhood. His heart raced as he listened to details about the incident. Witnesses described a figure fleeing the scene, and the police urged anyone with information to come forward. Alex's mind raced with questions. Could he have seen something? Were his friends involved? Just then, the camera cut to a group of neighbors standing outside, faces etched with fear and confusion. As the footage rolled on, Alex felt a chill creep up his spine. In one of the frames, a shadowy figure stood in the background, and for a split second, Alex swore it looked just like him. He blinked hard, trying to shake off the unsettling thought. Why would someone who looked like him be connected to such a dark event? Little did he know, this was just the beginning of a frightening journey into a mystery that would shake his very identity. As the news report continued, Alex felt his heart pounding in his chest. The camera moved from the scene of chaos to a group of witnesses gathered nearby, their faces illuminated by the blue and red flashing lights. Suddenly, one individual stepped into focus, and Alex's breath caught in his throat. The witness was not just similar, this person was an exact replica of him. Staring at the screen in disbelief, he couldn't shake the eerie sensation that someone had taken his appearance and placed them in a place filled with danger. The witness's expression mirrored his own, wide-eyed fear mixed with confusion. It felt surreal, as if he were staring into a mirror reflecting a parallel universe. Alex tried to process what this meant. Was this person connected to him in some way? Had they been involved in the crime? As wild theories raced through his mind, he desperately sought answers that made sense. Fear twisted in his gut as he wondered if this replica could be an omen or something far darker, a warning of what was yet to come. This shocking discovery ignited a mystery Alex couldn't ignore. He needed to find out who this doppelganger was and why they shared such an uncanny resemblance. As the initial shock began to fade, a deeper sense of anxiety settled over Alex. He could hardly believe what he had just seen. How could someone look exactly like him? His thoughts raced through a maze of confusion and fear. It felt like something more sinister was at play, something that lurked just beneath the surface of normalcy in Maplewood. His heartbeat quickened as he replayed the image of the doppelganger in his mind. What could it mean? Was he somehow connected to the crime? The thought sent shivers down his spine. Alex glanced around the living room, where his family remained blissfully unaware of the turmoil brewing inside him. While they laughed at a light-hearted segment on the news, he felt isolated in his growing dread. To distract himself, he picked up his phone and started searching for news articles about the burglary. Each headline seemed to echo his fears. Mysterious figures were sighted fleeing from various locations, and strange noises had been reported throughout the neighborhood. Something was definitely amiss. With each revelation, the tension mounted, urging him to uncover the truth before it was too late, and before another shadowy figure disappeared into the night. Fueled by a mix of fear and determination, Alex knew he had to dig deeper into the recent crime and its unsettling similarities to himself. The following day, after school, he made his way to the local library, a place filled with dusty books and whispered secrets. He settled down at a table, surrounded by yellowed newspapers that chronicled the town's history. As he flipped through the articles, Alex discovered multiple reports of bizarre incidents, missing pets, strange noises in the night, and sightings of shadowy figures darting through the streets. Each story sent chills down his spine. It felt as if something dark had taken root in Maplewood. The library's old clock ticked loudly in the background, amplifying his sense of urgency. His eyes widened when he noticed a trend. Many of these eerie events had occurred near his home. Could his doppelganger be linked to these happenings? Scanning through the papers, he scribbled notes feverishly, connecting dots like a detective piecing together a case. With every new revelation, anxiety clawed at him. He realized that time was running out. Whatever force had brought forth his replica was still lurking in the shadows, and it might unleash even more chaos if he didn't act quickly. Days passed, and Alex's investigation led him to a local online forum where townspeople shared their experiences. With trembling fingers, he typed out a post detailing what he had seen on the news and how it had shaken him to his core. To his astonishment, responses flooded in almost immediately. Others claimed they too had spotted doppelgangers, people who looked just like them appearing near the scenes of strange occurrences. One user described a chilling encounter at the park, where they had seen their look-alike watching them silently from behind a tree. Another shared a story of hearing their own voice calling out from an alleyway late at night. The more Alex read, the more it became clear that these sightings were not isolated incidents. They were part of a disturbing pattern woven through Maplewood. As he pieced together these accounts, Alex felt an icy grip around his heart. These individuals were just as confused and scared as he was, and many began to speculate about whether these doppelgangers were connected to the recent crime spree. Together, they formed a plan to meet up and share their stories in person, hoping to uncover the truth behind this eerie connection before it spiraled further into chaos. As the group gathered to share their stories, a sense of urgency filled the air. Alex felt a wave of determination wash over him. They needed to find tangible evidence to understand what was truly happening. After the meeting, he decided to revisit the crime scene where his doppelganger had been spotted. Armed with a flashlight and a notebook, he ventured out into the dimly lit streets of Maplewood. When he arrived, the area was eerily quiet, the faint sound of rustling leaves adding to his unease. As he examined the surroundings, something caught his eye, a small piece of paper wedged between two bricks of a nearby wall. Curiosity piqued, he pulled it free and unfolded it. The message was cryptic but chilling: "You are not alone. Find the others." Heart pounding, Alex scanned the area for more clues. He noticed strange markings on the ground and along nearby fences, symbols that seemed familiar yet unsettling. Each symbol appeared to be leading him somewhere, guiding him deeper into the mystery. He couldn't shake the feeling that these notes and signs were meant specifically for him, and that they held the key to unraveling the truth behind the doppelgangers and the darkness enveloping Maplewood. With the chilling note still fresh in his mind, Alex felt an unsettling pull to explore the woods bordering Maplewood, a place whispered about by locals but seldom visited after dark. As he maneuvered between trees, drawn by an instinct he couldn't explain, he stumbled upon a clearing bathed in silver moonlight. There, standing among the shadows, was a figure cloaked in darkness. The air turned thick with tension as Alex hesitated. This figure seemed familiar yet foreign, a presence that made his heart race. Taking a cautious step forward, he asked, "Who are you?" The figure turned slightly, though obscured by shadows. The voice emerged smooth and deep. "I know why you're here," it said. As the figure stepped into a pool of light, Alex was speechless. Their face closely resembled his own but bore a haunting expression, one of urgency mixed with fear. "The doppelgangers are not just reflections, they are part of something far darker," the figure warned. "You must uncover the truth before it consumes everyone." Alex's mind swirled with questions as dread seeped into his bones. He could feel time slipping away and sensed that the figure held vital answers about the impending danger lurking within their town, a danger that could change everything they knew about themselves and each other forever. Staring at the shadowy figure, Alex felt a surge of adrenaline. The warning echoed in his mind, you must uncover the truth before it consumes everyone. He knew he had to act quickly, every moment wasted could mean more danger for him and the others in Maplewood. With a newfound sense of purpose, he retraced his steps back to the town, his mind racing with possibilities. He needed to gather information, not just from his encounters but from anyone who might have seen something unusual lately. The doppelgangers were not just reflections, they were tied to a deeper mystery that could be unraveling right beneath their feet. Arriving back at the town square, he spotted some familiar faces from the forum meeting. He hurried over, urging them to join him in searching for more clues. They needed to connect the dots before time ran out. Together, they discussed sightings and strange occurrences, each revelation amplifying the urgency of their mission. As night fell, a creeping sense of foreboding settled in around them. With the moon casting long shadows and fear tightening its grip on their hearts, they realized they were racing against something far more sinister than they had imagined, something that could pull them into darkness if they didn't uncover the truth soon. As Alex and the others huddled together in the dim light of a local diner, their discussion grew increasingly frantic. They pieced together the strange sightings and whispered rumors that had circulated through Maplewood. Suddenly, one of the group members, a girl named Mia, recalled an old legend about a dark force that could create doppelgangers, beings meant to siphon the essence of their originals for some sinister purpose. The atmosphere in the room shifted as they contemplated this chilling revelation. It became clear that these doppelgangers were not merely coincidences, they were manifestations of something deeply malevolent. Alex felt a wave of nausea as he realized that this dark force seemed intent on drawing them all into its web. The more they delved into their findings, the more it appeared that this entity was orchestrating events to weaken their identities. With urgency pulsing through his veins, Alex stood up, determined not to let fear dictate their fate. "We have to confront this force directly," he declared. "If we don't stop it now, it could take over not just us but everyone in Maplewood." The group exchanged glances filled with newfound resolve. They knew they were racing against time to confront this looming darkness before it consumed their town, and their very selves. The time for action had come. Alex and his friends gathered in the woods where he had first encountered the shadowy figure, determined to confront the dark force that had plagued Maplewood. The air crackled with tension as they stood together, each holding hands to form a circle of unity. They had learned that they must face the source of their fears head-on. With a deep breath, Alex called out into the night, demanding the presence of the dark force. A chilling wind whipped through the trees, and shadows began to swirl around them, taking shape before their eyes. The doppelgangers emerged, their expressions twisted and malevolent, ready to capture the essence of their originals. But Alex stood firm, fueled by the strength of friendship and the knowledge they had uncovered. "We refuse to be your victims," he shouted, his voice echoing through the clearing. As he spoke, a brilliant light began to emanate from their joined hands, pushing back against the darkness that threatened to engulf them. In that moment, Alex understood that the key to breaking the cycle lay within their unity and resolve. As they focused their energy on dispelling the shadows, he felt a surge of hope. Together, they would fight to reclaim their identities and save Maplewood from being trapped in darkness forever. As the first light of dawn broke over Maplewood, Alex and his friends emerged from the woods, weary but triumphant. They had successfully confronted the dark force and banished the malevolent doppelgangers that had plagued their town. Although they had reclaimed their identities, an unsettling silence filled the air. The threat seemed to have dissipated, but questions lingered like shadows at the edges of their minds. As Alex walked home, he reflected on the strange events that had unfolded. He felt a mixture of relief and unease. Had they truly defeated the darkness, or would it one day return? The experience had changed him in ways he couldn't fully comprehend. What did it mean to face such a powerful force and come out alive? He wondered about the nature of reality and whether doppelgangers existed in every shadowy corner of life. Sitting at the dinner table with his family, Alex struggled to engage in conversation as familiarity felt distant. The mundane chatter around him contrasted sharply with the extraordinary battle he had faced. Despite knowing he was safe, he was left with an unshakable feeling that the boundaries of identity and reality were far more fragile than he had ever imagined.